What's up everyone, Adam here from Cape Crawlers, and today we're going to look at some new wheels for the Axial SCX24. Welcome back to the channel everybody. Today we're going to take a look at some wheels, specifically some new beadlock wheels from Mofo RC. Now one of the questions that I get asked a lot on Instagram and on YouTube is what wheels do I run? How do I get that deep dish look and that wide track? So my current setup and what I've been running is the stamped steel beadlock wheels from either RC 4-wheel drive or Endura most recently. And I really like those wheels for two reasons, and I'll tell you what they are. Number one is that they just look cool. That deep dish wheel on the outside just looks really cool, just gives it a great aesthetic appeal on the rig itself. The second reason is functionality. They're 4-piece wheels, so you can flip the hub around. So when you flip the hub to the traditional inside of that wheel, you gain about 4 millimeters of extra width, and that's what gives you that deep dish look. So it's a great way to add style and functionality to your rig. But you're kind of stuck with that same style of wheel. Both the Enduras and the RC 4-wheel drive are that same kind of generic wheel pattern. Not a lot of variety there. You get different colors, but that's about it. But now Mofo RC has come out with a great line of awesome new beadlock wheels that offer near limitless customization for your build. He's got ultra premium wheels, ultra deep dish wheels, island spacers to make those deep dish wide wheels even wider. He's got brass rings. He's got customized outer rings, so you can change these things in a number of different colors, combinations, whatever you want to suit your build. You know, there's a ton of options here. He's also got varying degrees of hub sizes, so you can change that offset if you want, going from 0 to 3 millimeters to 6 millimeters. So you can go ultra wide here if you want to. We've got our hands on a whole suite of stuff from Mofo RC. Nick really hooked us up so we can take a look at these. I'm going to dive into my current setup just to show you what I'm running on the Gladiator now, and then we're going to look at installing some new wheels. I've got a set already picked out for it, but I think we'll take a look at the whole bunch of products that we got here, take a look at some other combinations possibly, and then we'll throw some on the Gladiator and see how they look. So let's take a closer look. So here's our fleet, or at least part of it, demonstrating the current wheel setup that I run on my typical rigs. They're all running one combination or another of these 1-inch stamped steel beadlock wheels. The Gladiator is running the Enduras because I wanted that gunmetal color to kind of match my 1-to-1 rig. The Deadbolt's running the straight black, and the C10 is running these nice clean whites. Now I've got the same setup, the black ones on the JLU also, and I've got an extra set. So I've got 5 sets of these stamped steel wheels because they're really my go-to wheel for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. But the same style of wheel gets pretty monotonous build after build. If I want that width, I want that deep dish style, I want the customization, it's tough because I'm kind of limited on my options. Now, while I really like this setup because I think it looks great, the functionality is there, the added width is great, I would really just like more options to have that same functionality, but change up the looks a little bit. So that's what brings us to the Mofo RC wheels that we're going to take a look at now. So this is the current setup. You see I got a lot of these wheels on my builds, but it's time to switch it up. So why don't we take a look at the Mofo RC assortment of wheels that we've got, and then we'll start putting some together. And the old Gladiator, we're going to use the Gladiator today. She's going to get some new shoes. So we'll pick out a set and we'll put them on the Gladiator and see how they do. Now, how is this for variety, right? Holy moly. Now this is what we want right here. So let's lay out what we've got here for options. So we have, these are our island spacers. We'll do those in a minute. We have 2 different sets of wheels to look at. We have the ultra premium beadlock wheels here. These are the silver ultra premium wheels with the black ring screws. Now these are kind of your most customizable wheels here. They come with your choice of outer ring, multiple choices. We've got the silver ones here, but you can pick from a number of different ones there. We have the deep dish premium in black. I really like these. I'm a big proponent of the black wheels. I like those a lot. We've also got 3 options for our hubs. Now, I mentioned earlier that we have tuning options for width with these wheels, which is fantastic. So we've got a 0mm, 3mm, and a 6mm. So this is going to give you varying degrees of additional width depending on which hub that you want to go with. So it's very exciting. We got the aluminum hubs here. These are also available in brass if you want to add a little extra weight here. Now these are the island spacers right here. These will work with either one of these 2 wheel combinations, and what this does is it gives you about another 4mm of additional width. And it's just a machined spacer that fits in between the 2 sections of the wheel, which I'll show you more in depth in a minute. And then the extra fat ring that you need when you do this combo. So we have an aluminum set of these, and we also have a brass set of these. Now there's also brass rings in here for the ultra premium wheels or the deep dish premium wheels. So as you can see here, there's a ton of different customization options here and combinations that you can use. Boy, these things are heavy too. I think these are about 20 grams a piece. These brass rings, very heavy. The ultra wide setup here with these spacers, the island spacers in brass and the brass ring. I believe this is 39 grams a piece with this combo. So tremendous amount of additional weight if you want to go that route. But let's open these up and take a little bit of a closer look. I particularly want to look at the wheels. So let's start with the ultra premium wheels here. Again, these are the silver, and you'll see, let's just take one set out here. So the fit and finish on these is excellent. These are beautiful looking silver wheel, very, very sharp. So this is a 3-piece wheel. So you've got the inner and outer sections of the wheel, and then you've got your ring on top, and then you have your optional or your choice of options for your outer ring. It goes on top just like that. Now we opted for the black screws, so this is going to look really nice. It's going to give it some contrast. The black and the silver, it's going to look really good. Again, there's a number of different choices that you can get for your rings. Next, let's take a look at the deep dish premiums, the DDPs in black. And I'm very excited for these. I love this. So you don't get the ring on the outside here. Other than that, it's a very similar style wheel. Same very nice fit and finish. This black aluminum is very, very clean, very sharp looking. I like that a lot. Let's look at the island spacers a little closer. I'll keep that out so we can do a demonstration here. So there is a third option of wheel, and it's the super deep dish premium. And that will give you the same amount of width as one of these premium wheels fitted with the island spacers. So to give you an idea of how that would look, so here's your spacer here. So you're going to take this wheel apart. You're going to drop this ring, the spacer, right in the center, and then put your wheel together. And then you would need this big fat ring, but it adds about 4 millimeters of extra width, which is really cool. So again, tons of customization options here. A lot of choices, which is excellent. Let's look at the brass. If I were to put the island spacers on the black wheels, this is the combo that I'd go with right there. Get that nice brass ring right in the middle. Oh my gosh, the weight on these things It's so heavy. Holy cow. This is gnarly. Man, you can add some serious weight to your rig with these things. And look at the width difference there. Pretty impressive. So I think we need to mount some tires up to these different options just to give us some perspective of what it looks like mounted. Because I bet this is going to be a huge difference. Even just that little 4 millimeters, it's going to make a big difference in how the tire looks and performs. Let's take a closer look at the hubs. Yeah, look at that. Very nice, very clean, excellent looking hardware. So you can see the varying degrees of size. Just a great number of options here. I just love the amount of options that you have to customize your rig and really tune it the way you want. Very good stuff. Let's put some of these things together. So I am still on the fence about which wheels to put on the Gladiator. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble 2 of the ultra premium wheels with the silver ring to put on one side, 2 of the black deep dish premium wheels to put on the other side, and then we'll do a side-by-side comparison to see which one I like best. I will also take the wheels that I'm not using, and we're going to put in the aluminum island spacers and the brass island spacers. I have my scale here, so we'll weigh these things once they're assembled. I have got a relatively thin tire here. These are the RC 4-wheel drive Goodyear Wranglers. And I've got a big boy here, Trail King, Little Guy Racing Parts Trail King. So I'm going to put this wide Trail King on the island spacer. We'll put the Goodyear Wrangler on the other island spacer. So we'll see what the island setup does to a relatively thin tire, if it blows it out, and what does that look like. And we'll see what it does to an already wide tire, if it makes it, kind of true to size, or how this looks. So this is going to be fun. Let's put these things together. I'm going to do one wheel kind of in real time. We'll do this together. And then I'll probably do a time lapse or just jump in and out of the other wheels. But let's do one together here to kind of give you an idea of what the assembly process is like. And we'll see how tedious it is, because I have not gone any further with these wheels since we last recorded. So we're going to do this together. So we got the slime balls inside the Swamp Kings here from the Gladiator. We'll pop these in. Feels like a nice snug fit. They look pretty good on there. It's hard to tell, but let's see. So these are, you want to make sure you've got the deep dish on the outside of the tire. These are directional, as are the slime balls. So I want to make sure my whole setup is directional here. Slime balls, I can kind of peek in here and see which way the blades are pointing. So this is like that right there. We want this to be the outside. Okay, pop this in here. Swamp Kings have a nice big lip on them. Just make sure you get the bead. Your bead is actually inside that lip, so make sure that lip is free. It's basically it'll sit right in there. Looks good. We'll get our screws. Already got some. It's a tip for you guys when you're assembling these wheels. One of the things that I learned with the stamped steel beadlocks in particular is that hold it up to a light and then look through and then line your holes up. With the stamped steels, I like to put them on a glass table or a Tupperware container so I can look straight down through and I can line the holes up, I can see exactly where they are. That's just something that's helped me with these things, because they can be pretty tedious to install. Even these, which are a lot easier, it's still a little challenging to line up the holes here. All right, yeah, looking good now. Put that in there. Just tight enough to hold it. Now we'll work our way around. Last one. It's got a real nice seat on the bead. Looks really good all the way around. Let's make sure we're solid. Flubber steppers seem to fit pretty nicely, actually. All right, there it is. Look at that. Nice looking wheel. I like it. Get that hub on the back here. Really nice looking, cool looking setup here. So there's a black one. So why don't I'm going to put the other black one together, and then I'm going to do the ultra premium ones too. And then we'll take a look at the spacers as well. So that was a demonstration of one complete wheel, really easy to put together. I got to say, one of the most easy bead locks that I've experienced putting together. These nice big screws are easy to work with. The wheels were easy to line up once I got my reference points together. And then they came together really well and sealed right up. So this is a very easy wheel to work with. Nice hardware. So very pumped, very, very excited to put these all together. So I'm going to finish the rest of them up, and then we'll check them out when I'm all done. So I changed my mind and figured we would do one more install together here. So I've never done these island style spacers before, so we're going to try this too together. We're going to do the thin tire on the brass island spacers with the black wheel. So let's give this a shot, see how this goes. So, man, these things are so heavy. First off, let's weigh these things. All right, so let me turn this around. It's going to get angry at me here, but if you can see that 25 grams, just the ring. Is that 35 grams? Just this setup right here. That's a lot of weight. These things are beefy. All right, let's check them out. It feels almost comical trying to stuff this ring in this little tire. Oh yeah, look at the thing's wide now. Look at that. It's not terrible. I was expecting it to be like blown out like a beach ball, but it's not bad at all. You do get the bowing of the sidewall there. Some people like that. Some people are into that super deep dish, ultra wide wheel. It's starting to look wider now that I start putting the wheel together. So put the outside on there. Now I believe I just drop this in and then line it up like I would a normal wheel. All right, that one's lined up. What I found is I look for there's one hole on here where the bolt holes and the pattern holes are lined up perfectly. So that's like my reference point. So now I look for that to put the wheel together. And I do the same thing with the stamped steel beadlocks too. Is you find that one that's kind of the start of your wheel and then put it together. And also, I screwed up before because I was using the wrong screws in the other one. I was trying to put the long screws in my previous wheel. So it's what you get when you ask me to do installs. People ask me why I don't do installations that much. It's because I always screw something up. It's like, it would be a comedy channel if I filmed all my installs, because you'd be amazed at how many things I screw up all the time. Oh yeah, these are getting fat now. Holy smokes. I'm putting the 6mm hubs on here just for the heck of it, just to see what they look like. I'm not going to mount these on the rig. I just want to see them put together. So there's an example of one of these big ones. Holy cow, look at it. I bet it's almost as wide as the Trail King is now. Man, it is so heavy. These things are crazy heavy. But went together really easy. I'm actually pretty impressed. For my first time putting together the island spacers, it went together really well. Now I didn't put all the screws in there, but I've got 2 in there, just enough to hold it together so you can see what it looks like. But that's impressive. That's a really neat way to add a lot of width and weight to your wheels. And it's cool because when it's in there, you don't see it at all. Like, you would never know that there was a big brass spacer in there. Very nice. Again, very easy to assemble, very easy to line up with the spacer in there and everything. Went together really smooth. So now let's try one of these big fat ones with the Trail King on it. See what that looks like. So before I install these things, just wanted to throw the aluminum ones on the scale. As you can see, these are significantly lighter. This is 11 grams for this setup here, as opposed to 35, I believe it was, for the previous. So a huge weight gain with the brass setup. Check it out. Here's an ultra premium wheel with the island spacers and the Trail King on it. This looks awesome, I gotta say. These tires look fantastic with these wide wheels on here. It just, man, it really looks good. I'm impressed with the setup here. It almost got me wanting to run the island spacers on my setup on the Gladiator. That looks really good. Interesting. I wasn't expecting for it to look that good. They look so wide in the package. I thought it'd be goofy looking on the actual with tires on it, the wheel and tire combo, but it looks fantastic, I gotta say. Interesting. And look at that, you know, the fit and finish on this was great. These were a little more tedious to put together because you have to assemble the outer ring. So I just put 4 screws on the outer ring. When I put these all together, you have to put that all assembled. But as I said in the beginning, once the ring is on and assembled, you're able to get in there with your screwdriver, with your hex driver rather, and access these bolts. So you just take these 6 bigger bolts out of the inside and it pops the wheel off. You don't have to undo all of these around the ring, which is cool. So very nice. This has got me thinking now. So I don't know. Let's see. Let's assemble the other combos here, and we'll put on the Gladiator and see which one we like better, the black or the ultra premium silvers. All right, my friends, here are the 2 finished products here. So on the driver's side, we've got the ultra premium wheels with the silver rings and black screws on here. On the passenger side, we have the deep dish premium wheels, all black. These are very sharp looking. I'm kind of stuck here. I'm not sure which one I like the best. In the beginning, I was really thinking that the black was going to be the way I was going to go. But now that I see the ultra premiums on here with the black screws, I kind of like those a lot, actually. I really like them. So I'm not sure. I'm at a big crossroads here. But I think they both look great. I almost think the black fits the build better from an aesthetic standpoint. I don't have any other silver on the build. So these silver ultra premium wheels, they kind of stand out. They definitely stand out. And I don't know if that's a good way or not. If they had black rings, I think the ultra premiums would be the way to go. Yeah, I can imagine a silver wheel with the black rings and the black screws. That would be really sharp, and that would almost mimic what I've got going on my daily driver Gladiator. So I don't know, but they do look good. They do look really good. Really, really nice wheels. So these went together really nice. You know, the little screws around the ring went in no problem. Felt really sturdy. You know, some of the other brands that I've used, it's kind of a little sketchy. You feel like you're going to strip them out by looking at them sideways. These ones went in really solid. Really nice hardware here. The whole thing just went together really well. From a width standpoint, I think it's almost exactly the same as it was with the stamped Steelies on there. Again, these are the 3mm hubs on this one, and I think that was the right choice. It flexes just like it did before. You know, I think this is, I dare say that's within maybe 1 or 2 millimeters total of the same width that it was at. 6, I'm glad I didn't go with the 6mm. I think that would have been way too wide. But if I'd taken off the hex extensions, the 6mm would be a really nice stance. But as it sits right now, I think the 3mm were a really good choice. But I am torn on which wheel to choose. You know, I'm going to need your help. You got to let me know in the comments which one you like best. The Ultra Premium Silver or the Deep Dish Premium Black. But they both look awesome. Very, very nice wheels. I did not end up going with the island spacers, and I don't think I will now that I see the stance on this thing and how the tires look with these wheels put together. When I look more at the Trail Kings with the island spacers in it, that sidewall is just a little too out there for me. It looked really good, and I was really kind of smitten by it last night when I was putting these together. But seeing these together with the regular sized ring, I think this is the right choice. You know, I like this look a lot. Fits the tires, fits the build. It's got a good look to it. So I'm happy with not going with the island spacers, but now I just need to choose a wheel. So when I get it out on the course, we can just see these things in action, see how they look, and then I'm going to open it up to discussion. I want to get your feedback on which ones to pick for the long term. Which ones are your favorites? But let's get it on the course and just take a look at this thing moving around. Oh man, the more I look at those ultra premiums, man, the better they look. So I did not put the brass rings in here either, so I've lost a little bit of weight. Still hooks up really good though. And now we're up here, we get a view of the black. Man, the black's looking good too. One thing that kind of concerns me about the black, doesn't really concern me, but it sticks out, is that the aluminum hub is very apparent in the center of that wheel. And that's kind of like a, I don't know, it's not an eyesore, but man, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Oh boy, it's a tough choice. Decision time. Which set of wheels are we going to run with? Black or the silver? It's a tough choice. The more I looked at the silver, the more I liked them. And the black, if the black had a black hub, I would be all about it. But seeing that silver hub kind of right in the middle, it really just stands out to me, and not in a good way. So I'm kind of on the fence here. I really wish I had some black rings to go on the silver wheels. I think that would be ideal. But either way, these are fantastic wheels, and it's awesome that you got the customization options with the ultra premium wheels. You can build this thing out to your heart's content and really get down to the nitty gritty as far as a wheel and ring and color combo. The added width from the island spacers, super cool. The added weight from that setup too, and the brass rings for the deep dish wheels. Great setup here. I'm really looking forward to kind of digging in here a little bit more and experimenting with some combinations of these. Yeah, it's just cool to have these options. So shout out to Mofo RC for making a great product. Highly recommend these wheels. You know, they went on really easy. The hardware is solid. The fit and finish is great. Everything bolted together really, really easily. The tiny little ring screws even had a really solid feel to them. Not like they were going to strip out like some of the other wheels that I've run in this same style. So definitely recommend these wheels. They're a great option for your build. Tons and tons of customization and just high quality product that you know you're going to get from Mofo RC. So shout out to Nick for letting me try these out. Now I just got to make a choice. You know, let me know your thoughts down below. Would you go with black or silver? Yeah, I really want to hear from you guys. I need your input because I'm on the fence. So let's hear what you think. That's going to wrap it up for this video. Just a quick one to look at these cool wheels. I'm kind of trying to experiment on what to do next with the Gladiator in my builds. I've run a lot of the same products on these for a long time, so I'm looking to refresh them, and this was kind of the first step in that direction. As always, let me know what you think. Want to hear from you guys. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so. I'll leave the link in the description down below for the wheels that we've got here and the different options. So go check them out if you're interested. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next video.